Play this tonight and let the tears you held back begin to heal you. Not because you need to force yourself to cry, not because something is wrong with you if no tears come, and not because the past must be opened again in a painful way. Let these words simply become a safe place inside you, a place where you do not have to act strong, a place where you do not have to explain why your heart feels heavy, a place where you can stop pretending that everything never touched you. Tonight, you are allowed to meet yourself with honesty, softness, and love. Perhaps you have carried feelings that never had the right moment to leave. You kept going because life asked you to keep going. You handled what needed to be handled. You answered people. You finished your work. You cared for what mattered. You smiled when it felt easier than explaining. You said you were fine because the full truth felt too difficult to put into words. You became used to holding everything inside because you did not know where else to place it. And after a while, even you may have forgotten how much you were carrying. But the heart does not forget what it was never allowed to express. The body does not always forget the moments when you wanted to speak but stayed quiet. It remembers the days when you felt alone but kept telling yourself to be strong. It remembers the times when you needed comfort but became the one comforting everyone else. It remembers the hurt you pushed down because you were afraid it would become too much. It remembers the love you gave while trying not to notice how empty you felt inside. This does not mean your body is working against you. It may mean your body has been protecting you. It held the feelings until you had enough space to meet them. It carried the tears when life did not feel safe enough for them. It kept moving when you believed you could not stop. It helped you survive the moments when feeling everything at once would have been too much. So do not look at your hidden sadness and call it weakness. Do not look at your tired heart and call it broken. Do not look at the tears that rise and think you are losing control. There is a deep kind of strength in allowing the truth to move through you. There is courage in saying, even quietly, "This hurt me. This mattered to me. I carried this for a long time. I do not want to fight myself anymore." Tears are not proof that you have failed. They are not proof that you are moving backward. They are not proof that you are too sensitive. Tears are one of the ways the heart speaks when words feel too small. Sometimes the mind has spent years trying to explain something, but the body already knows. The body knows what was lost. The body knows what was ignored. The body knows what became too heavy. And sometimes the body asks for release in the simplest way it can. You may notice that sadness does not always appear as crying. Sometimes it appears as deep tiredness. Sometimes it appears as feeling distant from everything around you. Sometimes it appears as anger that seems larger than the moment. Sometimes it appears as needing to stay busy because silence feels uncomfortable. Sometimes it appears as overthinking, checking, waiting, or feeling as though you cannot fully rest. Sometimes it appears as a tight feeling in the chest or a heavy feeling that follows you through the day without a clear name. These feelings are not here to punish you. They may be asking for your attention. They may be saying, "Please stop leaving me alone. Please stop telling me I should be over this. Please stop making me hide because other people may not understand. Please sit with me long enough to know that I am not dangerous. I am only carrying something that needs love." Tonight, you do not need to solve every feeling. You do not need to understand where every emotion began. You do not need to search through every memory. You only need to become a little kinder toward what is present. You can let the heart know that it no longer has to hide from you. You can let the body know that it will not be judged for being tired. You can let the tears know that if they come, they will be received with tenderness. My feelings are safe with me now. Let that thought enter gently. My feelings are safe with me now. Even the feelings I do not fully understand. Even the feelings that arrive at the wrong time. Even the feelings I once believed were too much. Even the feelings I hid because I wanted to keep the peace. My feelings are safe with me now. There may have been a time when showing emotion did not feel safe. You may have learned that your tears made others uncomfortable. You may have learned to become quiet when you were hurting. You may have believed you needed to recover quickly so no one would worry. You may have thought love would leave if you became too emotional, too honest, or too needy. So you trained yourself to hold back. You trained yourself to smile through disappointment. You trained yourself to say it did not matter, even when it mattered deeply. You did not do this because you were false. You did it because you were trying to protect yourself. You were trying to keep connection. You were trying to avoid another wound. You were trying to stay in control when your inner world felt uncertain. That protection may have helped you once. It may have helped you get through something you could not fully face at the time. But you do not have to use the same protection forever. You can thank the part of you that stayed strong. You can say, "I understand why you held everything in. I understand why you did not cry. I understand why you kept moving. I understand why you told yourself not to feel. You were trying to help me survive, but you do not have to carry this alone anymore." There is a difference between strength and silence. Strength can include tears. Strength can include rest. Strength can include saying, "I need care too." Strength can include changing your mind, setting a boundary, or admitting that something still hurts. Real strength does not demand that you become hard. Real strength lets you remain soft without abandoning yourself. You may have been praised for how much you could carry. You may have become known as the calm one. the reliable one, the one who did not need much. But even the strong heart needs somewhere to rest. Even the helpful heart needs to be held. Even the quiet heart needs to be heard. You are not here only to carry other people. You are not here only to make life easier for everyone around you. Your feelings matter too. There may be tears connected to things that never received a proper ending. Words you never got to say. Questions that were never answered. Love that changed without warning. Trust that was broken. Hopes that slowly disappeared. You may have continued because you had no other choice, but a part of you remained in that unfinished place. Not because you wanted to live in the past, but because the feeling was never fully allowed to move. Tonight, you can offer that part of yourself something different. You do not need an answer from the past before you are allowed to heal. You do not need someone else to understand everything before your heart can begin to soften. You do not need the perfect apology, the perfect explanation, or the perfect final conversation. Those things may bring comfort, but your healing cannot remain completely locked in another place. Your love can reach the part of you that waited. Your kindness can reach the part that felt forgotten. Your presence can reach the part that kept looking outside for permission to let go. You can say, I am here with you now. I know you carried this quietly. I know you were trying your best. I know you needed more than you received. I will not shame you for still feeling this. My feelings are safe with me now. You do not have to push the feeling away. You also do not have to pull it closer. Let it be what it is. If sadness is present, let sadness be present without turning it into a story about your future. If tiredness is present, let tiredness be a message that you need gentleness. If anger is present, let it show you where something inside you felt ignored. If nothing is present, let that be acceptable too. Healing is not a performance. There is no correct emotional reaction. There is no special sign you must wait for. You may feel moved. You may feel quiet. You may feel warmth in the chest. You may feel very little at first. Every response is allowed. The heart opens in its own way. It does not follow a command. It responds to safety. Perhaps the tears will not come tonight. That does not mean nothing is changing. A wall that has stood for years may not disappear in one moment, but it may begin to soften. A small opening may appear. A little trust may return. The body may begin to understand that you are no longer demanding that it remains silent. That is already meaningful. You are not trying to remove every painful feeling before morning. You are beginning a new relationship with your inner world. A relationship where feelings are heard instead of judged, where the body is cared for instead of criticized, where sadness is not treated like failure, where you do not leave yourself the moment things become uncomfortable. Imagine how different life becomes when you no longer fear your own feelings, when sadness can rise without becoming a disaster, when tears can come without making you ashamed, when a difficult memory can appear and you can say, "I am here now. I survived that moment. I do not have to live inside it forever." There is a part of you that has been waiting for this kindness, not loud attention, not pressure, just kindness. A quiet inner voice saying, "You do not need to hide from me. You do not need to be perfect for me. You do not need to recover quickly so I will accept you. You belong with me even when you are emotional. You belong with me even when you are tired. You belong with me even when you do not understand what you feel." This is how the inner home becomes safe. Not by removing every painful memory, but by changing the way you meet yourself when pain returns. You stop becoming another voice that says, "Get over it." You become the voice that says, "Take the time you need." You stop asking, "Why am I like this?" You begin asking, "What does this part of me need?" What might your heart need tonight? It may need to be believed. It may need to stop proving that the pain was real. It may need to hear that it did not deserve what happened. It may need to know that the future does not have to repeat the past. It may need to feel that you are staying, even if no one else stayed in the way you hoped. You can offer this now. I believe my own heart. I do not need to argue with what I felt. I do not need to make my pain smaller so that it becomes easier for others to accept. What I felt mattered. What I needed mattered. And I am ready to meet those needs with greater love. This is not about becoming trapped in old emotion. It is about allowing emotion to move. A feeling that is welcomed can change. A feeling that is fought may become tighter. When you stop pushing it down, it no longer has to push back so strongly. When you stop calling it dangerous, it begins to lose its power to frighten you. The heart was never asking you to remain sad forever. It was asking you to listen. It was asking you to stop leaving it alone in the darkness. It was asking you to understand that the tears were not trying to destroy your peace. They were trying to lead you toward a deeper peace, one that does not depend on hiding what is true. So let tonight be different. Let it be simple. Let it be honest. Let it be a time when you do not have to hold your face in a certain way. You do not have to create the right feeling. You do not have to prove that you are healing. You are simply giving the heart a little more room than it had before. My feelings are safe with me now. My tears are not a weakness. My sadness does not make me unworthy. My heart is allowed to speak. My body is allowed to soften. I can meet myself with love. And as you begin to feel safer with your own emotions, another truth starts to appear. Some of what you are feeling may not belong to this moment. It may be an older feeling returning. It may be the sound of something that began long ago and has continued to echo inside you. Sometimes a feeling rises so strongly that it seems to describe your whole life. A moment of sadness appears, and the mind says, nothing has changed. A fear returns, and the mind says you will always feel this way. A memory touches the heart, and suddenly the past feels close again. But what you feel in one moment is not always the truth about your future. Sometimes it is only an emotional echo. An echo is a sound that continues after the original voice has stopped. It may seem close. It may seem powerful. It may seem as though the same thing is happening again, but the echo is not the beginning. It is the remaining sound of something that already happened. Your emotions can work in a similar way. A painful time may have ended, but the feeling connected to it may continue for a while. A relationship may be over, but fear may still appear when you begin to trust. A difficult season may have passed, but the body may still expect something to go wrong. A harsh voice may no longer be around you, but the mind may have learned to repeat it. This is an old feeling passing through me, not my final truth. Let that sentence become a gentle light. This is an old feeling passing through me, not my final truth. I do not have to build my future around the way I feel tonight. I do not have to call this sadness permanent. I do not have to believe every fear that enters my mind. This may be an echo, and echoes can fade. You may have noticed how the body reeks before the mind has time to understand. A message arrives, and the chest becomes tight. Someone becomes distant, and the old fear of being left appears. A plan changes, and the mind suddenly feels unsafe. A small mistake happens, and shame rises as though something much larger has gone wrong. The present moment may be touching an older wound. The body is not trying to confuse you. It is trying to protect you using what it learned before. It sees something familiar and says, "Be careful. We remember how this felt. We do not want to be hurt again." You can respond to that reaction with love. You do not need to believe that danger is present just because fear is present. You can notice the fear and say, "I understand why you came. Something in this moment reminded me of the past, but I am here now. I can look again. I can choose again. I can take care of myself differently now." This is how the echo becomes weaker, not by shouting at it, not by pretending it is not there. The echo weakens when you stop answering it with the same old fear. Think of the beliefs you may have repeated during painful times. I am not enough. I am difficult to love. People always leave. I must stay quiet to be accepted. I must take care of everything alone. If I rest, something will fall apart. If I say no, I will lose love. If I trust, I will be hurt. These thoughts may have helped you explain what was happening. They may have created a sense of order during confusion. The mind often tries to make a rule out of pain because rules feel safer than uncertainty. If one painful thing happened, the mind may decide it will always happen. If one person could not love you well, the mind may decide love itself is unsafe. If one honest moment led to rejection, the mind may decide silence is the safest place to live. But the rule created during pain is not always the truth. It may only be an old conclusion. It may be a sentence written by fear, and you are allowed to write a new sentence now. The past showed you what happened before. It cannot tell you every possible thing that can happen next. The fact that you were hurt does not mean love will always hurt. The fact that you felt alone does not mean you will always be alone. The fact that you stayed quiet does not mean you have no voice. The fact that you survived by becoming strong does not mean you must live without softness forever. Your past is part of your life, but it is not the only author of your future. There may be times when you feel as if you have returned to the beginning. You thought you were doing better. You thought you had released something. Then a song, a place, a dream, or a quiet night brings the feeling back. You may become disappointed in yourself. You may think you have made no progress. But healing does not always move in a straight line. The return of a feeling does not mean you are back where you started. You are meeting it with new awareness. You are not the same person you were the first time it hurt. You know more now. You can stay with yourself now. You can speak to the feeling now. You can choose not to abandon yourself now. The feeling may look familiar, but the one meeting it has changed. This is an old feeling passing through me, not my final truth. There is a great difference between feeling pain and becoming the pain. You can feel sadness without saying, "I am only sadness." You can feel fear without saying, "Fear knows the future." You can remember what happened without saying, "It is happening again." You can let a memory move through the mind without giving it the power to define the whole night. A feeling is a visitor. It may carry an important message. It may need time. It may stay longer than you wish, but it is not your full identity. There is a larger part of you watching, listening, breathing, and remaining present. That larger part has survived every emotion that ever moved through you. You are the space that can hold the feeling. You are not only the feeling itself. Sometimes an emotional echo appears because the heart did not receive what it needed at the time. The feeling may still be waiting for comfort, understanding, or protection. It may continue returning because it wants a different ending inside you. Not a different past, but a different response now. Perhaps fear once rose and you criticized yourself for it. Now fear can rise and you can offer safety. Perhaps sadness once came and you forced it away. Now sadness can come and you can listen. Perhaps anger once appeared and you felt ashamed. Now anger can show you where a boundary was crossed. The past cannot be changed, but the way you care for the part of you that remembers can change. And that changes the way the past lives inside you. You are not trying to erase every memory. Erasing is not required for peace. You are learning to remember without reopening the wound in the same way. You are learning to hold the truth without letting it control every new choice. You are learning to say, yes, that happened. Yes, it affected me. And no, it does not get to decide everything that happens next. There may be an old sadness connected to not feeling chosen. When something feels uncertain now, that sadness returns. It may say, here we are again. You are not important. You will be forgotten. But the present you can answer differently. I choose myself now. I do not leave myself while waiting for someone else to choose me. My worth does not disappear because another person could not see it. I do not have to repeat the old abandonment inside my own heart. There may be an old fear connected to speaking honestly. When you want to say what you need, the body becomes tense. The old echo says, stay quiet, do not cause trouble, do not risk losing connection. You can answer, I can be honest and loving. My needs do not make me a burden. I am allowed to speak without attacking anyone and without abandoning myself. I can protect my peace with clear words. There may be an old belief connected to responsibility. You learn to watch everything, fix everything, and prepare for everything. Rest feels unsafe because the mind believes something bad will happen if you stop. You can answer, I do not have to carry the whole world to be worthy. I can handle what belongs to me and release what does not. Rest does not make me careless. Rest helps me return to myself. Each new answer creates a different echo. Every time you choose a kinder thought, you send a new sound into your inner world. Every time you set a healthy boundary, you create new evidence. Every time you stay with yourself during a hard moment, the body learns that it is no longer alone. The new echo may be quiet at first. The old one has been repeated many times. It may sound more familiar, but familiar does not mean true. Familiar only means practiced. You can practice something new. You can practice saying, I am safe to feel. You can practice saying, I do not have to chase love. You can practice saying, my voice matters. You can practice choosing rest before exhaustion. You can practice leaving a conversation that turns your heart into a battlefield. You can practice speaking to your body as a friend. These choices may seem small, but the subconscious mind learns through repeated experience. It watches what you do when fear appears. It notices whether you attack yourself or offer support. It notices whether you follow the old pattern or make one different choice. A new life is not created only through large moments. It is created through the small ways you stop agreeing with the past. The old echo may say, no one will understand you. The new response says, I will understand myself. The old echo may say, you must earn love. The new response says, love that requires self-abandonment is not the love I need. The old echo may say, your feelings are too much. The new response says, my feelings can move through me safely. The old echo may say, nothing will change. The new response says, change has already begun in the way I meet myself. This is an old feeling passing through me, not my final truth. You may still have difficult days. The goal is not to become untouched by life. The goal is to stop treating every difficult feeling as proof that you are failing. The goal is to know that when emotion rises, you have the ability to meet it with awareness. You can say, this is fear. It is not a prediction. This is sadness. It is not my whole identity. This is an old memory. It is not the present moment. This is a body reaction. It is not a command. Naming the feeling gently can create space. When everything is mixed together, the heart may feel trapped, but when you recognize what is present, you can respond with greater care. Perhaps the feeling is grief. Grief may need softness. Perhaps the feeling is anger. Anger may need truth. Perhaps the feeling is shame. Shame may need acceptance. Perhaps the feeling fear. Fear may need safety. Perhaps the feeling is loneliness. Loneliness may need your own presence. You do not need to fix the feeling instantly. You are learning its language. You are becoming someone who listens before reacting. You are becoming someone who asks, is this about what is happening now, or is something older asking for love? That question can protect you from giving the present moment the full weight of the past. It can help you slow down before making a choice from fear. It can help you see that the person, message, or situation in front of you may not be the real source of the intensity you feel. Sometimes the feeling is larger because it has been waiting for years. And if that is true, then it deserves patience. Not because you need to remain inside the pain, but because you are finally allowing it to complete its journey. Imagine a river that has been blocked. The water does not stop existing. It gathers. It presses. It looks for another path. When the block begins to open, the water may move strongly at first. That movement does not mean the river is becoming worse. It means the river is flowing again. Your emotions may move in the same way. When you stop holding everything in, the first release may feel strong. That does not mean you should be afraid. It may mean the feeling has finally found a path. You do not have to enter the river all at once. You can remain on the safe ground of the present. You can remind yourself where you are. You can feel the support beneath you. You can notice what is around you. You can let the emotion move in a way that feels manageable. The heart does not need to release everything in one night. Healing can happen in layers. One memory softens. One belief changes. One tear leaves. One breath becomes easier. One boundary becomes clearer. This is enough. Do not measure healing only by how quickly the pain disappears. Notice how differently you speak to yourself. Notice whether you recover with more kindness. Notice whether you recognize the old patterns sooner. Notice whether you are less willing to abandon your needs. These are signs that the echo is changing. You are no longer shouting the old words into the canyon. You are sending new words now. I am worthy. I am safe with myself. I am allowed to rest. I can love without losing myself. I can remember without returning. I can feel without becoming lost. Life will begin to reflect what you keep practicing. Your relationships with yourself and others will begin to change when you stop responding from the same old wound. The outside may not transform immediately, but the inner response is already a new beginning. You are becoming the person who does not call every closed door rejection. You are becoming the person who does not call every silence abandonment. You are becoming the person who does not call every mistake failure. You are becoming the person who can stay calm long enough to ask, what is truly happening here? That question brings you back to the present. The present is different from the past because you are here with more awareness. You have more choices. You can speak. You can leave. You can rest. You can ask for help. You can wait before responding. You can protect your peace. You can choose what enters your inner world. The past may have taught you fear, but the present can teach you safety. This is an old feeling passing through me, not my final truth. I can let it move without following it into every fearful thought. I can honor what happened without building my home inside it. I can hear the echo without calling it the voice of my future. And as the old echo begins to fade, the heart needs something more than positive words. It needs to feel that it is truly safe. It needs to know that you are not going to pressure it, judge it, or force it to open before it is ready. The heart does not open because it is ordered to open. It opens when it senses that it will not be punished for what comes out. It opens when the body no longer expects criticism. It opens when you stop asking yourself to heal in the perfect way. It opens when you become patient enough to stay. Safety is not only about the room around you. Safety is also the voice inside you. It is the way you speak when emotion rises. It is the way you respond when the body feels tense. It is the choice to remain gentle when an old memory appears. You can be in a quiet place and still feel unsafe inside if your own thoughts are harsh. You can have no one around you and still feel watched by old judgment. You can be resting and still feel pressure to recover quickly. This is why emotional release begins with the inner voice. The heart asks, what will happen if I tell the truth? Will I be rejected again? Will I be called weak? Will I be told I am too much? Will I be rushed? Will I be ignored? You can answer those questions now. If the truth rises, I will listen. If tears come, I will not shame them. If nothing comes, I will not force it. If I feel tired, I will not call myself lazy. If anger appears, I will ask what it wants me to understand. If sadness appears, I will let it know that it is not alone. I am safe enough to feel what is ready to leave. You do not need to say this like an order. Let it be an invitation. I am safe enough to feel what is ready to leave. Not everything, not all at once, only what is ready. There is wisdom in that. The body often knows the amount it can process. It may release a little and then become quiet. It may bring one memory forward and keep another one hidden. It may soften in one place while remaining tense in another. Do not treat this as resistance. The body is moving at the speed of trust. Trust grows through consistency. Each time a feeling rises and you respond with kindness, trust grows. Each time you rest before you become completely exhausted, trust grows. Each time you say no to something that harms your peace, trust grows. Each time you stop repeating a cruel thought about yourself, trust grows. The body learns. Perhaps I am safe here now. Perhaps I no longer have to shout through pain. Perhaps I no longer have to hide every need. Perhaps the person living inside this body is finally listening. You are becoming that listener. You do not need to search for the perfect words. A simple sentence can be enough. I am here. I am listening. I will not leave. We can move slowly. You do not have to explain everything tonight. These words give the nervous system a different message. They say there is no attack coming from within. They say the feeling does not need to become louder to be noticed. They say you are willing to remain present. Notice how often the body has been asked to carry more than it wanted to carry. It carried the days you did not rest. It carried the conversations you kept replaying. It carried the tension of waiting for messages, answers, approval, or change. It carried the pressure of being enough for everyone. The body did not fail you by becoming tired. It may have been telling the truth before the mind was ready to hear it. You can begin listening in simple ways. Notice where you feel pressure. Notice where the body feels guarded. You do not need to change anything immediately. Let awareness itself become an act of care. Perhaps the shoulders feel heavy because they have been holding responsibility. Let them know they do not have to hold the whole future tonight. Perhaps the jaw feels tight because so many words were never spoken. Let it know you are allowed to have a voice now. Perhaps the chest feels closed because the heart learned to protect itself. Let it know you are not forcing it to open. Perhaps the stomach feels unsettled because uncertainty has lived there for a long time. Let it know that you are here in the present. The body hears the tone behind your words. If you say, relax with frustration, the body hears frustration. If you say, why are you still tense? The body hears that it is doing something wrong. But if you say, I understand why you are holding on, the body hears compassion. Compassion creates space. You may place a hand where the body feels most tired, not as a command, but as a message of presence. The warmth of your hand can say what words cannot. I am here. This part of me is not alone. I do not need to fight this feeling. There is no need to create a special experience. The simple act of not attacking yourself is powerful. Many people try to heal while speaking to themselves in the same harsh voice that created fear. They demand peace. They demand confidence. They demand release. They turn healing into another test they must pass. But healing does not grow well under pressure. The heart cannot be bullied into softness. The body cannot be frightened into safety. The inner child cannot be ordered to trust. Safety says, take your time. Safety says, I believe you. Safety says, you do not have to become different before you deserve love. I am safe enough to feel what is ready to leave. Perhaps you have been afraid that if you begin crying, you will never stop. Perhaps you have worried that if you open one painful memory, everything will come rushing in. This fear is understandable. When emotions have been held back for a long time, the idea of feeling them can seem overwhelming. But you are not opening every door. You are sitting near the heart and letting it choose what it wants to show you. You remain grounded in the present. You remember that you are here now, not back there. You do not need to follow every thought. You can let the feeling move without making it larger with fearful meaning. If tears come, let them be only tears. You do not need to analyze each one. You do not need to decide what they prove. You do not need to say, this means I am not healed. Let them be water leaving the body. Let them be a release of pressure. Let them be an honest response. If tears do not come, let silence be enough. The body may be releasing through a deeper breath, a softer chest, a feeling of warmth, or a sense of tiredness. Emotional movement is not always visible. You may simply feel less guarded. You may notice that one memory does not hurt in the same sharp way. You may feel a little more willing to care for yourself. These are forms of release too. The heart is not required to perform. You can let go of the need to have a powerful experience. Sometimes healing is quiet. It happens when you stop checking whether it is happening. It happens while you rest. It happens when the mind is no longer trying to control every step. There is a peaceful form of surrender that says, I do not need to make the tears come. I only need to make love available. Love is available in the way you listen. Love is available in the way you protect your energy. Love is available in the choice to stop reading what hurts you. Love is available in the decision not to return to a conversation that keeps opening the same wound. Emotional safety is not only what you do while resting at night. It is also what you choose during the day. If something repeatedly brings you fear, you are allowed to create distance. If a conversation always leaves you feeling smaller, you are allowed to end it. If checking something keeps hurting your heart, you are allowed to stop. If your body asks for rest, you are allowed to listen before it forces you to stop. Boundaries help the heart believe that your love is real. Without boundaries, the inner child may hear kind words, but continue watching you return to what causes pain. With boundaries, your actions say, "I mean it," when I say, "I will protect you." You do not have to make every boundary large. Safety is built through simple choices. You can take more time before answering. You can decide not to explain yourself again. You can turn away from a thought that has already taken enough of your energy. You can choose quiet instead of another argument. Each choice becomes evidence. I am no longer abandoning myself. I am becoming a safe person for my own heart. This safety allows old emotion to leave because it no longer needs to protect you in the same way. Anger does not need to stay loud when boundaries become clear. Fear does not need to stay alert when you listen to your needs. Sadness does not need to remain hidden when it knows it will not be shamed. The feeling may have been holding a job. It may have been trying to protect you from repeating something. When you understand its message and begin acting with greater care, the feeling can soften. You can ask, "What are you trying to show me?" Fear may say, "I need reassurance." Anger may say, "Something crossed my boundary." Sadness may say, "I lost something that mattered." Numbness may say, "I need more time." Listen without turning the answer into a problem. The emotion is not your enemy. It is part of your inner system asking for a more loving response. You can thank it. Thank you for trying to protect me. Thank you for showing me where I still need care. Thank you for holding this until I was ready. You do not have to work so hard now. I am listening. The body may not believe you immediately. It has heard many promises. It may need to see your love repeated through action. Be patient. The body is not being difficult. It is learning. Safety becomes real when you keep returning. You return after a difficult moment. You return after you forget. You return after falling into the old pattern. You do not use one mistake as a reason to leave yourself again. You may react from fear sometimes. You may check something you promised not to check. You may say yes when you wanted to say no. You may become harsh with yourself. When you notice, do not turn it into proof that you cannot change. Return. Say, "I forgot for a moment. I became afraid. I followed the old pattern." but I am here again. I can make a new choice now. This return is part of healing. The heart does not need you to be perfect. It needs you to be willing to come back. I am safe enough to feel what is ready to leave. You are safe enough to admit that you are tired of carrying something. You are safe enough to say that a situation hurt more than you showed. You are safe enough to accept that you wanted love, support, or understanding. You are safe enough to stop judging the part of you that still cares. You do not become free by pretending you never needed anything. You become free by meeting the need with wisdom. Perhaps you needed someone to stay. Now you can become someone who stays with yourself. Perhaps you needed to be chosen. Now you can stop choosing what abandons you. Perhaps you needed permission to rest. Now you can give yourself that permission. Perhaps you needed to hear that you were not too much. Let yourself hear it now. Your feelings are not too much. Your needs are not too much. Your truth is not too much. You may have placed them in spaces that could not hold them, but that does not make them wrong. The right inner space can hold the truth with love. Tonight, you are creating that space. Not by demanding that the heart open, but by letting it know the door is unlocked. It can come forward when it is ready. It can remain quiet if it needs more time. You are not waiting with impatience. You are waiting with care. Imagine a closed flower. You would not pull the petals apart and call it blooming. You would give it warmth, water, and time. You would trust the life inside it. Your heart deserves the same patience. It has its own wisdom. It knows when a feeling is ready to move. It knows when the body can hold the release. Your role is not to force. Your role is to create the conditions where healing can happen. The conditions are simple: kindness, honesty, rest, boundaries, presence, a voice that does not attack, a willingness to stay. When these become part of your inner life, the heart begins to understand that it no longer has to remain closed forever. You may feel the first soft movement as a desire to tell yourself the truth. You may realize how tired you are of pretending. You may feel ready to stop carrying responsibility that was never yours. You may understand that the pain you kept excusing was real. Let these truths come without turning them into another reason for shame. Truth is not here to punish you. Truth is here to release you. You can say, yes, I stayed too long. I understand why. Yes, I remained quiet. I understand why. Yes, I tried to earn love. I understand why. And now I am learning another way. Understanding creates safety. Shame keeps the heart hiding. Understanding tells it you were doing what you knew how to do. Now we can learn together. There is no need to hate the old version of you. That version carried you here. It survived. It protected. It hoped. It may have made choices you would not make now, but it was still trying to find love and safety. Let your new wisdom become a shelter for the old self, not a weapon. I am safe enough to feel what is ready to leave. I am safe enough to stop fighting my own heart. I am safe enough to let love reach the places I once kept hidden. I do not need to rush. I do not need to prove anything. I can move gently. This safety may become the beginning of a deeper release. As the heart understands that it will not be judged, it may begin to show you what the tears were holding, the words you never spoke, the needs you never named, the grief you made smaller, the truth you kept quiet so life could continue. You do not need to search for those answers tonight. Let them arrive in their own time. You have already done something important. You have shown the heart that when it speaks, you will listen. When it trembles, you will remain. When it softens, you will not force it further. You are becoming a peaceful place inside yourself, and from that place, what has been held back can begin to move toward freedom. There are feelings inside you that may have waited a very long time for words. Not because you had nothing to say, but because saying it did not always feel safe. You may have known what hurt. You may have known what you needed. You may have known what was missing. But you kept it inside because you were trying to protect something, a relationship, a sense of peace, someone else's comfort, your place in a home, your place in a heart, your image as the strong one. So the truth stayed quiet, and the tears carried what the mouth could not say. Sometimes the tears are not only about one painful moment. They are made of many small moments that were never fully felt. A look that made you feel unimportant. A promise that was slowly forgotten. A time when you needed comfort and received silence. A day when you wanted to say, "This is too much for me," but you kept going. These moments may not have looked large from the outside, but the heart does not measure pain by how visible it is. The heart measures what it meant to you. You may have told yourself that you were overreacting. You may have made your own pain smaller because you believed other people had it worse. You may have thought, "I should be grateful. I should be stronger. I should not feel this way." But gratitude and pain can exist together. Strength and sadness can exist together. You can know that there is good in your life and still admit that something hurt you deeply. Your pain does not need to compete with anyone else's pain before it deserves care. Your feelings do not need permission from the outside. If it hurt, it hurt. If it mattered, it mattered. If part of you still carries it, that part deserves to be met with love. The tears you held back may have been trying to say, "I was tired of always being the strong one." Perhaps strength became a role you did not know how to leave. You became the one who stayed calm, the one who found the answer, the one who kept everyone together. You learned how to move through hard moments without asking for much. And maybe people began to believe that you did not need support because you looked so capable. But looking strong and feeling supported are not the same thing. There may have been many times when you wished someone would notice without being asked. You may have wished someone would look beyond the smile and understand that you were tired. You may have wanted to hear, "You do not have to carry this alone." But the words did not come. So you kept doing what you knew. You held more. You gave more. You told yourself you could handle it. You did handle it. But handling something does not mean it did not cost you. It may have cost you sleep. It may have cost you peace. It may have cost you the freedom to feel weak for a moment. It may have taught you that your value came from how useful you were. It may have made rest feel like guilt. It may have made receiving help feel uncomfortable. The tears may be saying, "I do not want to prove my strength every day. I want to be cared for too." Let that truth be allowed. You are not selfish for wanting support. You are not weak for wanting someone to notice your heart. You are not asking too much when you want love to feel safe, kind, and steady. Perhaps the tears are holding words you never spoke because you feared what honesty would change. You may have wanted to say, "That hurt me. I need more. I cannot keep doing this. I do not feel respected. I feel alone even when I am not physically alone." But fear stopped the words. You may have feared conflict. You may have feared rejection. You may have feared that if you told the truth, something important would end. So you chose silence because silence felt safer than loss. But silence can slowly become its own kind of loss. Each time you hide what you truly feel, a small distance can grow between you and yourself. You begin to hear everyone else more clearly than you hear your own heart. You begin to ask what others need before asking what you need. You begin to shape your life around keeping everything calm, even when your own inner world is full of pain. Peace that requires you to disappear is not true peace. The tears may have been saying, "I want to speak. I want to be honest. I want my feelings to matter too." You do not need to shout to honor your truth. You do not need to attack anyone. You do not need to explain every detail. Truth can be simple. "This does not feel right for me. I need time. I cannot give more right now. I want to be treated with care. I am no longer willing to ignore what hurts." These words may feel unfamiliar, but unfamiliar does not mean wrong. It may mean you are learning how to include yourself in your own life. There may also be tears connected to love you gave freely but did not receive in the same way. You may have poured patience into a place that gave you confusion. You may have offered understanding while your own feelings were ignored. You may have waited because you believed that if you loved more, explained more, or gave more time, the situation would finally become what you hoped. Hope can keep the heart waiting long after the truth has become clear. Perhaps the tears are saying, I gave so much. I wanted it to mean something. I wanted my love to be enough. Your love may have been real, and still the situation may not have been able to give you what you needed. Love can be real without being healthy. Care can be deep without being equal. Wanting something to work does not always mean it can become safe. This is a painful truth, but it can also free you. You do not need to keep proving your love by staying in pain. You do not need to keep giving what is not being cared for. You do not need to keep explaining your worth to a place that keeps making you question it. Your tears may not only be grieving what happened, they may also be grieving what you hoped would happen, the future you imagined, the words you thought you would hear, the change you believed would come, the safe ending you waited for. Sometimes grief is not only about losing something that existed, it is also about letting go of something that never became real. That kind of grief can be hard to explain. Nothing may have ended in one clear moment. It may have faded slowly. You may have kept waiting for a sign that things would return to how you wished they could be. And when hope finally became too heavy, the heart may have had nowhere to place the sadness. You are allowed to grieve the dream. You are allowed to grieve the version of life you wanted. You are allowed to say, I hoped for more. I wanted this to be different. I am sad that it was not. This does not mean you are trapped. It means you are honest. Honesty allows the heart to stop waiting at a door that is no longer opening. Honesty allows energy to return. Honesty says, I can love what I hoped for and still choose what is true now. The tears may also be holding anger that you never felt allowed to express. Perhaps you believed anger was wrong. Perhaps you were taught that being loving meant never feeling upset. Perhaps you turned anger inward because it felt safer than showing it. But anger is not always cruelty. Anger can be a message. It can say, something mattered, something crossed a line. Something in me needed protection. When anger is not allowed to speak, it may become self-blame. Instead of saying, that was unfair, you may say, what is wrong with me? Instead of saying, I deserved better, you may say, I should have tried harder. Instead of recognizing that something hurt you, you may decide that you were too sensitive. The tears may be carrying anger because the anger had nowhere else to go. You can listen to anger without letting it control your actions. You can say, I understand. You were trying to show me that I needed a boundary. You were trying to protect what was precious inside me. You were telling me that I could not keep accepting the same pain. There is no shame in recognizing that you are angry. The shame begins to soften when you understand the message. Perhaps the message is, I deserved honesty. Perhaps it is, I should not have had to beg for basic care. Perhaps it is, I am tired of ignoring myself. Perhaps it is, I am ready to protect my peace. When the message becomes clear, anger does not have to stay as heavy. It can become truth. It can become a boundary. It can become the strength to choose differently. I allow the truth within me to be met with love. You do not have to fear your truth. Your truth is not here to destroy your life. It is here to stop you from living too far away from yourself. Maybe the tears are saying, I was lonely. Loneliness can exist even when people are near. It can exist when no one asks what is happening inside you. It can exist when you are seen only for what you do, not for who you are. It can exist when you are always listening but rarely feel heard. You may have become used to carrying loneliness quietly. You may have told yourself that you should not need anyone. You may have tried to become completely independent so you would never feel disappointed again. But the heart was not made to feel ashamed of connection. Wanting to be understood is human. Wanting safe closeness is human. Wanting to be met with warmth is human. The pain was not that you needed too much. The pain may have been that you kept asking for love in places that could not offer it in the way your heart required. Tonight, you can stop judging the need. You can say, yes, I wanted closeness. Yes, I wanted to feel chosen. Yes, I wanted to feel safe. There is nothing wrong with that. The need itself is not the wound. The wound came from not receiving enough care while believing that your need was the problem. Your tears may also be carrying the sadness of abandoning your own needs. Perhaps you knew you were tired, but you kept going. You knew you needed distance, but you kept answering. You knew something felt wrong, but you ignored it because you did not want to disappoint anyone. Each time you moved away from your own truth, the heart may have become a little quieter. Not because it had nothing to say, but because it was learning that you might not listen. Do not use this understanding to blame yourself. You were doing what you had learned. You were trying to keep love. You were trying to keep life steady. You were trying to avoid being seen as difficult. Now you can learn a new way. You can begin listening before the heart has to become overwhelmed. You can notice the first small feeling of no. You can notice tiredness before it becomes exhaustion. You can notice discomfort before it becomes deep resentment. This is how self-trust returns. Not through one great promise, but through many small moments when you stop leaving yourself behind. I hear what my heart is saying. I do not have to ignore myself to be loved. My needs are allowed to have a place in my life. The tears may be grieving time, time spent waiting, time spent worrying, time spent trying to fix what was not yours to fix, time spent feeling unworthy, time spent hiding your real feelings. You may look back and wish you had known sooner. You may wish you had left sooner, spoken sooner, rested sooner, or chosen yourself sooner. Regret may rise with the sadness, but please do not use today's awareness to attack the version of you who did not yet understand. You see clearly now because you lived through what taught you. The wisdom came from the path. You could not stand at the beginning with the knowledge you gained at the end. The earlier version of you was not foolish. That version hoped. That version trusted. That version survived. That version made choices based on what felt possible at the time. You can wish you had chosen differently without hating who you were. Let the tears say, "I wish I had known." Then answer, "I understand. I know now, and I will use what I know with love." The past does not need more punishment. It needs understanding. There may also be tears for the person you had to become in order to survive. Maybe you became quiet. Maybe you became overly powerful. Maybe you learned to read every mood. Maybe you became the one who never asked for help. These ways of living may have protected you, but they may also have made life feel smaller. You may have forgotten what it felt like to relax without watching for danger. You may have forgotten how to receive without feeling guilty. You may have forgotten how to trust your own choices. Your tears may be saying, "I want to come back to myself." That return does not happen by rejecting who you became. It happens by thanking those old protections and letting them know that you have more choices now. You can say, "Thank you for helping me get through. Thank you for keeping me alert. Thank you for teaching me how to survive. But I do not need to stay guarded in every moment. I am learning how to live, not only how to protect myself. I allow the truth within me to be met with love. Let the truth be simple. You were hurt. You stayed strong. You adapted. You carried more than you showed. And now you are ready to stop treating your pain as something shameful. You do not have to explain every tear. Some tears carry many truths at once. Grief, relief, anger, love, tiredness, hope. They may all move together. Let them move if they come. And if they remain inside, speak to them kindly. You can say, "I know you are there. I am not rushing you." You can come when the heart feels ready. Your inner truth does not need to shout anymore. You are listening. You are listening to the part that was tired of being strong. You are listening to the words that were never spoken. You are listening to the love that was not returned with care. You are listening to the anger that wanted a boundary. You are listening to the loneliness that wanted safe connection. You are listening to the regret that needs compassion, not blame. Each truth that is met with love becomes less frightening. Each truth you accept brings you closer to yourself. You are not opening the past so that you can live there. You are opening enough space for what was trapped to leave. And as those truths begin to rise, another feeling may come with them. The feeling of blame. Blame toward what happened. Blame toward what was done. Blame toward yourself for not knowing how to protect your heart sooner. This is where forgiveness becomes important, not as a rule, not as a demand, not as a way to make the pain smaller. Forgiveness becomes a doorway through which the energy tied to the past can slowly return to you. Forgiveness can be a difficult word when the heart has been deeply hurt. It may sound like you are being asked to pretend that nothing happened. It may sound like you are being told to excuse behavior that caused pain. It may sound like you must open a door that you worked hard to close. But true forgiveness does not ask you to deny the truth. It does not ask you to call something loving when it was not loving. It does not ask you to forget your boundaries. It does not ask you to return to the same place. Forgiveness is not approval. Forgiveness is the choice to stop letting the past use all of your life energy. You may still remember. You may still understand that what happened was wrong for you. You may still decide that distance is necessary. Forgiveness can exist with clear boundaries. Forgiveness can exist with wisdom. Forgiveness can exist even when trust is not rebuilt. You can forgive and still say no. You can forgive and still protect your heart. You can forgive and still choose not to return. This is important because your freedom should never require you to abandon yourself again. Forgiveness is not about making the past comfortable. It is about making the future freer. Perhaps part of you has been waiting for an apology, a clear admission, a moment when the pain is finally understood. This desire is natural. The heart wants the truth to be seen. It wants to know that what happened mattered. Sometimes that understanding comes. Sometimes it does not. Sometimes the words arrive too late. Sometimes the words never come. Your healing cannot remain fully dependent on an answer outside of you. You can honor your pain even if no one else does. You can believe your experience. You can say, "This affected me. This changed something inside me. I deserved more care." You do not need someone else to agree before you are allowed to move forward. This does not mean you stop caring about justice or truth. It means you do not hand your whole life to a person or event that has already taken enough. You can begin forgiveness with willingness. I am willing to release the pain connected to the past. Notice that this does not say you must release everything immediately. It does not say you must feel loving toward what happened. It simply says, I am willing. Willingness is gentle. It creates an opening without pressure. You may say, I am not ready to forgive completely, but I am willing to stop carrying this in the same way. That is enough to begin. Resentment often feels like protection. It may feel as though staying angry proves that what happened was wrong. It may feel as though letting go means you no longer care. But letting go does not change the truth. It changes what the truth is allowed to keep doing inside you. You can remember clearly without carrying the same fire every day. You can protect yourself without living in constant battle. You can honor the lesson without repeating the pain in your mind each night. The body may have carried resentment as tension. The mind may have carried it as repeated conversations. You may have imagined what you should have said. You may have searched for the moment when everything went wrong. The mind does this because it wants a different ending. It wants control over something that already happened. It believes that if it thinks about the pain enough, it may finally find the answer that makes everything feel fair. But some answers do not bring peace. Some answers lead only to more questions. At Iskiig, on point, peace may need to come from choosing not to reopen the same court inside your mind. You do not need to hold another trial tonight. You know it hurt. You know what it taught you. You know what you will not accept again. The lesson can remain even when the emotional punishment ends. I am willing to release the pain connected to the past. Let this not be for anyone else. Let it be for your own heart. You deserve mornings that are not controlled by yesterday. You deserve to enter new relationships without making them pay for old wounds. You deserve to feel good without guilt. You deserve to let a peaceful moment remain peaceful. Resentment can make joy feel unsafe. It can keep one part of the heart watching the past while the rest of you is trying to move forward. Forgiveness allows the heart to turn toward life again. This may happen slowly. You may release one part and discover another layer later. Healing is not false because the feeling returns. It may mean a deeper part is ready. You can meet each layer without frustration. You can say, there is more here. I will listen. I do not have to rush. Forgiveness is not a single moment for every pain. Sometimes it is a choice you return to many times. You remember and you choose peace again. You become triggered and you choose not to follow the old story. You feel anger and you let it show you the boundary instead of letting it become your whole identity. You feel sadness and you allow it to move without deciding that you will never be free. Each return matters. And then there is self-forgiveness. Sometimes this is the deepest part. You may find it easier to understand why someone else acted from their own pain than to understand why you stayed. You may ask yourself, why did I not see it? Why did I keep hoping? Why did I give another chance? Why did I remain silent? These questions can become very cruel when they are asked without compassion. You may use everything you know now to judge the version of you who did not know. Please stop for a moment and see how unfair that is. The version of you who stayed did not have the full story. The version of you who trusted wanted to believe in love. The version of you who kept hoping was trying to protect a dream. The version of you who remained silent may have been afraid of losing safety, connection, or belonging. You did what felt possible with the awareness you had. Today you know more. Today you can choose differently. But new wisdom should not become another weapon. I forgive myself for not knowing what I know now. Let this sentence reach the places that still carry shame. I forgive myself for not knowing what I know now. You were learning while living. You were trying to understand while your heart was involved. You were not standing outside the experience with perfect vision. You were human. You may need to forgive yourself for staying too long. Perhaps you stayed because you loved. Perhaps you believed things would change. Perhaps leaving felt impossible at the time. Perhaps you were not yet ready. You can now say, I understand why I stayed. I am no longer there. I do not need to punish myself to prove that I learned. You may need to forgive yourself for going back to what had already hurt you. Old patterns can feel like home even when they are painful. The body may return because the familiar feels less frightening than the unknown. You can say, I was looking for comfort in the place where I had once hoped to find it. Now I understand that comfort must also come from within. You may need to forgive yourself for being silent. Maybe your voice felt too dangerous. Maybe you feared anger, rejection, or loss. Maybe you were taught that your needs were less important. You can say, I understand why I could not speak then. I am learning to speak now. You may need to forgive yourself for ignoring signs. Sometimes the heart sees only what it is ready to see. Sometimes hope makes warning signs look smaller. Sometimes you needed more time before the truth became clear. You can say, I see clearly now. I will not use that clarity to shame the earlier me. You may need to forgive yourself for loving deeply. There is nothing shameful about having a sincere heart. The pain did not come because you loved. The pain came because your love was placed where it could not be held with enough care. Do not make your capacity to love the enemy. Let wisdom guide your love, but do not become hard because tenderness once hurt. I forgive myself for not knowing what I know now. Perhaps you also need to forgive yourself for the ways pain changed you. You may have become guarded. You may have pushed love away. You may have reacted from fear. You may have hurt yourself with harsh thoughts. You were trying to protect what remained. You can take responsibility without becoming cruel. You can say, I see where my pain led me. I am willing to change. And I refuse to hate myself while I learn. Self-forgiveness does not mean avoiding responsibility. It means creating enough safety to grow. Shame often keeps people trapped. It says, "You are bad, so why try?" Compassion says, "You made choices from pain, and you can choose differently now." Compassion creates movement. What happened mattered, and my freedom matters too. Hold both truths. The pain mattered, the lost time mattered, the broken trust mattered, your tears mattered, and your freedom matters too. You do not have to choose between honoring the past and choosing the future. You can do both. You can say, "That was real, and I am ready for something new." Forgiveness may begin as a small space in the heart. A moment when you think of what happened and do not feel the same tightness. A night when you do not replay the conversation. A day when you notice that you are more interested in your own life than in what was done to you. These quiet changes are powerful. They mean your energy is returning. Energy that was tied to anger becomes available for creating. Energy tied to regret becomes available for choosing. Energy tied to waiting becomes available for living. You may begin to feel lighter, but lightness can also feel strange. If you have carried pain for a long time, you may wonder who you are without it. You may feel guilty for moving on. You may think that becoming peaceful means what happened no longer matters. But peace does not erase the truth. Peace means the truth is no longer holding your body in the same place. You are allowed to feel good again. You are allowed to laugh without remembering why you once cried. You are allowed to love without keeping one hand on the past. You are allowed to stop talking about the wound when you no longer need to. Forgiveness gives you permission to continue. You may not feel ready to forgive every part tonight. Do not force it. Forced forgiveness is another way of silencing pain. Let the heart be honest. You can say, "I am still angry, I am still hurt, and I am willing to move toward freedom." That is honest forgiveness. It does not pretend. It does not rush. It simply chooses a direction. I am willing to release the pain connected to the past. I forgive myself for not knowing what I know now. What happened mattered, and my freedom matters too. Let these thoughts move gently through you. Forgiveness may also mean releasing the need to understand every reason. You may never know why something happened in the exact way it did. You may never fully understand a choice that caused pain. Understanding can help, but it is not always required for release. You can say, "I may never know every answer. I still choose peace." There is great strength in that sentence. It says the missing answer will not control your future. Sometimes the heart waits because it believes the perfect explanation will remove the pain. But explanations do not always heal. Love, truth, boundaries, and time often do more. Give yourself those things now. Give yourself the love you waited for. Give yourself the truth you were afraid to speak. Give yourself boundaries that protect your healing. Give yourself time without calling it failure. This is how forgiveness becomes real. It becomes the way you live. You stop returning to what keeps hurting you. You stop speaking about yourself with contempt. You stop making the old event the center of your identity. You begin asking, what do I want to build now? The past taught you what pain felt like. Let the future teach you what peace can feel like. You do not need to rush toward that peace. Let it come slowly. Let it become believable. Let the body learn that calm is safe. The tears may come as forgiveness begins. They may be tears for what happened. They may be tears of relief. They may be tears for the earlier version of you who carried so much shame. Let those tears say, I do not want to fight myself anymore. Let them say, I am tired of carrying this. Let them say, I am ready to take my life back. There is no thing weak in that. It takes courage to release what became part of your identity. It takes courage to stop repeating a story that once explained everything. It takes courage to believe that life can become more than what hurt you. You are allowed to become someone who remembers and still feels free. You are allowed to become someone who learned without becoming bitter. You are allowed to become someone whose heart is soft and protected at the same time. Forgiveness does not return you to the person you were before. It helps you become someone wiser, kinder, and more honest. And as blame begins to soften, you may wonder why all of this is rising now. Why the tears did not come earlier. Why the heart waited until this season to open. The answer may be simpler and more loving than you think. Your heart may have waited until it finally felt safe enough. There are times in life when the heart cannot feel everything at once. The body has work to do. Decisions must be made. Responsibilities must be carried. You may have been moving through a difficult time, and feeling the full weight of it would have made it harder to keep going, so the heart waited. It did not forget. It did not ignore what happened. It placed the feeling somewhere inside and said, we will return to this when there is more space. You may have believed you were over it because you were able to function. You were able to wake up, complete tasks, answer messages, and continue with daily life. But functioning and healing are not always the same thing. Sometimes functioning is survival. Survival says, keep moving. We will feel later. Later may be tonight. The tears may be arriving now because the body no longer believes it must stay in complete control. The heart may sense more safety. The nervous system may finally have enough quiet to open one of the places it kept closed. This does not mean you are becoming weaker. It may mean you are no longer in the same survival state. The feelings are returning because they believe you can hold them now. My healing is arriving at the right time for me. You may ask, why did I not cry when it happened? Why did I feel numb? Why did the pain come much later? Numbness can be protection. It can help you move through what would otherwise feel too overwhelming. It can help you handle the practical parts of life before the emotional parts are ready. Do not judge the numbness. It may have been one of the ways your body kept you safe. You did not fail to feel correctly. Your system chose the amount it could manage. Now, the numbness may be softening. Feeling may be returning. This can be confusing. You may think you are getting worse because sadness has become more clear. But clarity is not always decline. Sometimes you can feel more because you are safer. Imagine ice beginning to melt. While it is frozen, nothing moves. When warmth arrives, water begins to flow. The movement may look messy at first, but it is part of returning to life. Your emotions may be melting in the same way. The tears may be the warmth reaching a place that stayed frozen for too long. Do not be afraid of the movement. Stay close to yourself. You may have once needed to be strong enough not to feel. Now you are becoming safe enough to feel. That is a different kind of strength. My healing is arriving at the right time for me. Healing has its own timing. The mind may want a clear schedule. It may say, I should be over this by now. It has been too long. Why am I still affected? The heart does not follow the clock in the same way. A feeling may need to wait until the body has more support. A truth may not become clear until you are far enough from the situation to see it. A memory may return only when you have enough inner strength to meet it without becoming completely lost. You may have needed to build safety before you could understand the full pain. You may have needed to learn boundaries. You may have needed to learn self-love. You may have needed to stop depending on an outside answer. You may have needed to become someone who could remain present with the earlier version of you. This does not mean life was punishing you by making you wait. It may mean the heart was preparing a safer way to release. The flower does not open because the calendar says it should. It opens when warmth, light, and inner readiness meet. Your heart is the same. You cannot pull it open and expect it to remain whole. You give it care. You give it time. You give it truth. You give it safety. Then one day something softens. A memory becomes clear. A tear appears. A truth you could not say before becomes simple. I was hurt. I was tired. I needed more. I deserved care. These words may arrive years after the moment itself. That does not make them less true. It may mean you are finally ready to hear yourself. Do not ask why you could not hear sooner. Ask what has made hearing possible now. Perhaps you have become more honest. Perhaps you are no longer trying to protect someone else's image. Perhaps you are tired of pretending. Perhaps life has become quiet enough for the inner voice to rise. Whatever the reason, honor the opening. My healing is arriving at the right time for me. You may compare your healing with how quickly someone else seemed to move on. This comparison can make the heart feel defective. You may think, why am I still feeling this when others appear fine? You do not know what another heart carries. You do not know what has truly been felt or hidden. And even if someone else found peace sooner, their timing is not a rule for yours. Your body has its own history. Your heart has its own way of protecting you. Your healing has its own shape. Comparison does not make the process faster. It only adds shame to pain. Let your path be yours. You do not have to explain why something affected you deeply. The depth of your feeling does not make you weak. It may show how much you cared, hoped, or trusted. Give yourself the time that truth requires. Healing is not a race away from pain. It is a return to wholeness. A return can be slow. You may take a step forward and then need rest. You may feel peaceful and then meet another layer. You may think something is complete and later discover that one small part still needs love. This does not mean you failed. It means healing is deep. A house is not cleaned by pushing everything into another room. True healing slowly opens each space, brings in light, and lets the old dust leave. Your heart is not rushing because it is doing careful work. My healing is arriving at the right time for me. There may have been times when tears were not safe because you were surrounded by people who did not know how to hold them. You may have feared being judged, questioned, or told to stop, so the body learned to wait until you were alone. Even now, you may feel tears rise only at night. The day may feel too busy. The mind may stay active until the lights become low and the noise becomes quiet. Then the heart says, "Can we speak now?" Night can become a place where hidden feelings ask for attention, not because the night is dangerous, but because the day is no longer covering them with activity. You may feel more emotional when everything slows down. Do not see this as a problem. It may be the heart using the only quiet it has. Give it kindness. You do not need to stay awake solving everything. You can let the feeling know that it has been noticed. I hear you. You matter. We can continue healing without forcing an answer tonight. The body can release even while you rest. The mind can create new meaning while you sleep. You do not need to complete the whole process through thought. Trust that something is moving. Your role is not to control healing. Your role is to support it. You support it by resting when you can. You support it by telling the truth. You support it by not returning to what repeatedly harms you. You support it by choosing people and places where your feelings do not have to hide. You support it by speaking kindly when an old wound appears. Each loving choice tells the nervous system, we are safer now. The body needs this evidence. It needs more than beautiful words. It needs to see that you will protect your peace. When you stop answering what drains you, the body notices. When you leave a conversation that becomes harmful, the body notices. When you choose rest instead of pushing until collapse, the body notices. When you ask for help, the body notices. When you stop calling yourself weak for feeling, the body notices. These actions create the safety that allows old feelings to leave. You may not realize how much your inner world watches what you do. Each time you choose yourself with love, the heart becomes more willing to open. It says, perhaps this time I will be heard. Perhaps this time the truth will lead to care. Perhaps this time I will not be left alone. This is how trust returns between you and your own heart. My healing is arriving at the right time for me. Perhaps the tears are coming now because you no longer need them to stay hidden. Perhaps you have enough strength to feel sadness without becoming lost. Perhaps you have enough wisdom to know that a feeling is not forever. Perhaps you have enough self-love to remain close while the old pain moves. This is readiness. Readiness does not mean the process feels easy. It means you have more inner support than before. You can feel and still remain present. You can remember and still know where you are. You can cry and still trust that the wave will pass. You can be tender and still be safe. The heart waited because it needed this version of you. The version that can say, I believe you. The version that can say, you did not deserve to carry this alone. The version that can say, I will not rush you. The version that can say, we are not going back. We are only allowing the feeling to leave. The earlier version of you may not have had these words. You have them now. You are becoming the safe place that did not exist before. That is why the healing can happen now. Do not ask the heart to release more than it wants. Let it set the pace. One truth may be enough for tonight. One tear may be enough. One moment of self-kindness may be enough. Healing does not need to be dramatic to be real. A small softening in the chest matters. A moment when you do not blame yourself matters. A decision to stop checking what hurts matters. A night when you allow yourself to rest matters. These are signs of change. You may still wake with some heaviness. Do not decide that nothing happened. The heart may be working slowly. The nervous system may need repetition. Trust is built through many safe nights, many kind choices, many gentle returns. You are not behind. You are not late. You are not broken because the healing took time. You were becoming ready. What if your heart is ready now? Let that question open something without pressure. What if the tears are not taking you backward? What if they are carrying you out of a place you were once trapped inside? What if the sadness is rising because it no longer needs to stay? What if the body is finally saying, we can release this now? You do not need to know for certain. You can simply stay open to the possibility. My healing is arriving at the right time for me. There is another beautiful truth in this timing. the person you are becoming may be able to use what you have learned, not to remain focused on pain, but to live with more wisdom. You may become clearer about love. You may become more honest about your needs. You may become less willing to betray yourself for approval. You may become kinder toward the hidden pain in others while still protecting your own peace. The wound does not have to be wasted. It can become understanding. It can become a boundary. It can become self-respect. It can become a deeper ability to choose what is safe. But you do not need to turn the pain into a lesson too quickly. First, let it be felt. First, let the heart know that it does not need to be useful to deserve care. You are allowed to heal without making the pain meaningful immediately. Meaning may come later. For now, the heart may need simple love. I know you waited. I know you carried this. I know you did not feel safe enough before. You are safe with me now. These words can become the warmth that allows the ice to melt. Let the release be gentle. Let it be incomplete if that is what the heart needs. Let it continue another day. You do not need to reach a final answer tonight. You are creating a new inner message. There is time. There is care. There is safety. There is room for the truth. And as your heart begins to trust this new message, it may become ready to put down even more. Not only the pain that belonged to you, but also the weight you carried for others. The guilt, the pressure, the belief that you must keep everyone comfortable, the feeling that every problem is yours to solve. Your healing is arriving at the right time because now you may be ready to understand that not everything you carried was ever yours to hold. Not everything you carried was ever yours to hold. Some burdens entered your life so quietly that you may have mistaken them for part of who you are. You carried the moods around you. You carried the fear of disappointing others. You carried guilt for problems you did not create. You carried the pressure to keep everyone calm, comfortable, and pleased. You carried words that were spoken from someone else's pain and allowed them to become part of your own inner voice. After carrying something for a long time, it can begin to feel personal. The shoulders become used to the weight. The mind stops asking whether the burden belongs there. You may begin to believe that being loving means carrying everything without complaint. But love was never meant to be measured by how much pain you can hold. You can be caring without becoming responsible for every feeling around you. You can offer support without giving away all your strength. You can understand someone's pain without letting that pain become the atmosphere inside your own body. There may have been moments when you entered a room and immediately felt the need to make everything better. You noticed tension before anyone spoke. You watched faces. You listened to the smallest changes in tone. You tried to understand what everyone needed so you could stop trouble before it began. Perhaps you learned to do this very early. Being aware may have helped you feel protected. If you could understand the mood, you could prepare. If you could keep others happy, perhaps you could prevent anger, rejection, or distance. This awareness may have helped you survive, but it may also have taught you to live outside yourself. You became so focused on what everyone else was feeling that you had little space left to ask what was happening inside you. You could feel another person's sadness but ignored your own. You could recognize someone else's anger but did not notice how afraid your body had become. You could explain why someone acted painfully while forgetting that the pain still affected you. Understanding why something happened does not mean you must keep accepting it. Compassion does not require self-abandonment. You can understand that someone is struggling and still say that the way they speak to you is not acceptable. You can know that someone has wounds and still refuse to become the place where those wounds are released without care. You can wish healing for another heart while creating distance from what harms yours. Spiritual love includes truth. It includes respect. It includes the ability to recognize that every life has its own work to do. You are not here to complete another person's healing for them. You are not here to carry every consequence so someone else never has to face one. You are not here to remain exhausted so everyone around you can remain comfortable. I can care without carrying everything. Let this thought enter the places where guilt has lived. I can care without carrying everything. Perhaps guilt rises when you think about stepping back. Perhaps the mind says you are being selfish. Perhaps it says that loving people never give up, never become tired, and never say no. But a boundary is not always rejection. Sometimes it is the clearest form of truth. A boundary says, I want to meet you without losing myself. A boundary says, I will not keep turning love into pain. A boundary says, I respect both of us enough to stop participating in what is unhealthy. There is a difference between closing your heart and closing the door to harm. You do not need to become bitter. You do not need to stop caring. You can remain kind while becoming clear. You may have carried guilt for choosing yourself because you were taught that your needs should always come last. When you were tired, you continued. When you wanted space, you stayed available. When you needed help, you told yourself someone else needed it more. Over time, this may have created a quiet belief that your value came from being useful. If you were helping, fixing, listening, or giving, you felt needed. If you stopped, you feared you might become unimportant. But you are worthy even when you are not solving anything. You are worthy when you rest. You are worthy when you do not know the answer. You are worthy when you cannot give more. You are worthy when you choose silence instead of explaining. Your existence is not a service you must perform perfectly. You do not have to earn your place through exhaustion. I release responsibility for what I cannot control. You cannot control how others see you. You cannot control whether someone understands your boundary. You cannot control every outcome. You cannot control whether another person chooses honesty, healing, growth, or change. You can speak with care. You can make wise choices. You can take responsibility for your own actions, but you cannot live another life for someone. When you try to control what does not belong to you, the body remains tense. The mind searches for the correct words, the correct action, or the correct amount of love that will finally make everything safe. You may spend hours thinking about what someone meant or what you should do next. This constant thinking may feel like responsibility, but often it is fear trying to create control. You can release the need to solve what another person must choose to face. You can say, I have done what is mine to do. I have spoken honestly. I have offered care. The rest does not belong in my hands. There is relief in allowing life to handle what you cannot. You do not need to stand between every person and the lessons their choices create. Sometimes stepping back is not abandonment. Sometimes stepping back allows truth to become visible. You may also be carrying guilt connected to the past. Perhaps you believe you should have prevented something. You may think that if you had been wiser, calmer, kinder, or stronger, the outcome would have been different. The mind often returns to painful moments and creates new versions. If only I had said this. If only I had noticed that. If only I had acted sooner. These thoughts can make you feel as though you had complete control when you did not. You were one person inside a situation with many parts. You had only the knowledge, energy, and choices that were available to you at the time. You cannot demand that the earlier version of you have the wisdom you gained later. You may have influence, but you do not control every result. I release responsibility for what I could not control. Let yourself feel how different that is from saying nothing mattered. It mattered. You cared. You may still wish the outcome had been different, but wishing does not mean the whole burden belongs to you. You can learn without carrying endless blame. You can take responsibility without taking responsibility for everything. Perhaps you have also carried the words of people who did not know how to speak with care. A judgment may have remained inside you for years. A comment about your body, your ability, your emotions, or your worth may have become a voice you continued repeating. Someone else may have spoken from fear, anger, jealousy, or their own unhealed pain. But the words entered your inner world and began to sound like truth. They were not truth simply because they were repeated. You can return those words. You can say, "This belief was given to me, but it does not belong to me." The belief that you are difficult to love does not belong to you. The belief that you must be perfect to deserve peace does not belong to you. The belief that your feelings make you weak does not belong to you. The belief that you must stay small so others feel secure does not belong to you. The belief that you are responsible for everyone's happiness does not belong to you. You may have lived under these beliefs, but you do not have to keep them. I return to myself with love. Returning to yourself may feel unfamiliar if you have spent years moving toward everyone else. At first, you may not know what you need. You may be able to answer every question about another person, but feel uncertain when you ask yourself what would bring peace. Do not judge this uncertainty. Self-connection returns through practice. Begin by noticing what leaves you feeling heavy and what leaves you feeling clear. Notice where the body becomes tense. Notice where you keep saying yes while something inside is asking for space. Your needs may not arrive as a loud voice. They may appear as tiredness, discomfort, hesitation, or the quiet wish to be alone. Listen before those feelings become overwhelming. You are allowed to need rest without having a dramatic reason. You are allowed to change your mind. You are allowed to decide that something no longer fits who you are becoming. You are allowed to stop giving energy to conversations that never move toward understanding. You are allowed to protect the healing that has begun inside you. This does not make you less spiritual. It makes your love more honest. Love without truth can become self-betrayal. Love with truth allows both care and freedom. You may wish everyone could come with you as you change. You may hope that your healing will make every relationship easier. Sometimes it will. When you become more peaceful, some relationships become more peaceful too. But some patterns depended on you having no boundaries. Some connections may feel different when you stop giving beyond your strength. Some people may not understand the version of you that no longer accepts what once felt normal. You do not have to become cruel in order to remain firm. You can say, I understand that this is difficult for you. My decision still matters. You can say, I care about you. I cannot keep doing this. You can say, I wish you peace. I also choose peace for myself. The heart does not need to hate in order to release. I can care without carrying everything. Let this become more than a beautiful sentence. Let it become a way of living. When another person is upset, you can care without making their feeling proof that you have done something wrong. When someone misunderstands you, you can explain with honesty without begging to be seen correctly. When someone asks for more than you can give, you can respond with kindness without ignoring your limits. When guilt rises after a boundary, you can recognize that guilt may be an old habit, not a sign that the boundary was wrong. Old patterns may make healthy choices feel uncomfortable at first. If you have always said yes, no may feel unkind. If you have always explained yourself, silence may feel frightening. If you have always carried the relationship, stepping back may feel like failure. But discomfort does not always mean you are making a mistake. Sometimes discomfort is the feeling of leaving an old role. You are not becoming cold. You are becoming balanced. You are learning that your energy is part of your life. Where you place it matters. What you allow to take it matters. You do not have an endless supply to give to fear, guilt, waiting, fixing, and explaining. Your energy also belongs to your healing, your body, your peace, your dreams, and the quiet life within you. There may be grief as you put down old roles. Being needed may have given you a sense of purpose. Even if the role exhausted you, it may have made you feel important. Without that role, a question may rise. Who am I when I am not carrying everyone? You are still love. You are still kind. You are still valuable. You are a whole life, not only a source of support for other lives. You are allowed to discover what brings you joy. You are allowed to become interested in your own needs. You are allowed to use your energy to create something beautiful instead of only managing what feels painful. Your heart is allowed to feel light again. Lightness may feel strange after long heaviness. The mind may search for a reason to worry because worry has become familiar. Peace may feel too quiet. Rest may make you notice feelings that busyness kept hidden. Stay gentle. You do not have to fill every empty space with another burden. You can let the space remain open. Something new can grow there. Perhaps creativity returns. Perhaps hope returns. Perhaps you begin to enjoy your own company. Perhaps you notice how much of life was hidden beneath responsibility. Releasing the weight does not leave you empty. It gives your own life room to breathe. There may still be moments when you automatically reach for what you have put down. You may begin solving, overthinking, or accepting responsibility again. Notice without shame. Ask, is this mine? Is this feeling mine to process? Is this problem mine to solve? Is this choice mine to make? Is this guilt showing me a true responsibility? Or is it only the old fear of disappointing someone? These questions can protect your peace. If something belongs to you, meet it honestly. If it does not, let it remain where it belongs. You do not have to carry what another person refuses to carry for themselves. You do not have to feel guilty for a lesson life is asking someone else to learn. You do not have to become the answer to every problem simply because you can see the pain. Compassion can stand beside someone without becoming responsible for their whole path. I release responsibility for what I cannot control. I return to myself with love. I can care without carrying everything. My heart is allowed to feel light again. Let the tears release the old weight. Let them carry away the guilt of not being able to save everything. Let them soften the belief that your value depends on how much you suffer for love. You are not here to prove love through pain. You are here to live it through truth, care, respect, and freedom. As you release what was never yours, you create space for a new inner state. But that space must be supported by more than one beautiful moment. The mind, heart, body, and daily choices must begin moving together. The tears can open the door. Your new way of living helps you walk through it. A deep, emotional release can bring relief, but healing continues in the way you live after the feeling has moved. You may cry and feel lighter, but if the mind returns to the same cruel thoughts, the wound can tighten again. You may understand the truth, but if your choices continue taking you back to what hurts, the body may remain afraid. Healing becomes stronger when your thoughts, feelings, and actions begin moving in the same direction. My thoughts, feelings, and choices are moving toward peace. This does not require perfect agreement inside you. Part of you may be ready, while another part still feels afraid. One thought may be hopeful, while an old feeling remains heavy. Alignment does not mean you never feel conflict. It means that the deeper direction of your life is becoming clear. You are choosing peace even while fear is learning to trust it. You are choosing self-respect even while guilt is still fading. You are choosing a new future even while the past occasionally calls your attention. Begin with the mind. The mind has repeated old stories for a long time. It may have used them to prepare you for pain. If you expected disappointment, perhaps it felt less shocking when disappointment came. If you criticized yourself first, perhaps the words of others seemed less powerful. These habits may have felt protective, but they also kept the wound active. The mind may continue reopening what the heart is trying to release. It may repeat conversations. It may imagine different endings. It may ask why something happened again and again. You do not need to fight the mind. You can gently give it a new direction. I do not need to repeat this pain to prove it mattered. That sentence does not deny what happened. It recognizes that memory is not the same as healing. You do not honor the past by hurting yourself with it every night. You do not prove your love by remaining trapped in grief. You do not prove that something mattered by allowing it to control every new day. It mattered, and you are allowed to continue. When the mind returns to the old story, you can say, I know this story. I have listened to it many times. What do I need now? Perhaps you need rest instead of more thinking. Perhaps you need to write down one truth and leave the rest for another day. Perhaps you need to bring attention back to what is present rather than what has already ended. The mind may believe it must finish the story before it can rest, but some stories do not have a perfect ending. Rest cannot depend on understanding every detail. You can choose peace without solving the past completely. I am allowed to become peaceful. Let the mind hear that. To peace is not betrayal. You are not betraying what happened by feeling better. You are not betraying a lost dream by creating a new one. You are not betraying your earlier self by moving beyond what hurt. The earlier self may have wanted this freedom for you. The mind may also create fear about the future. After being hurt, it may say, do not trust again, do not open, do not hope too much. Stay guarded. You can thank the mind for trying to protect you while choosing a wiser thought. The past is not the only truth about me. You have also survived. You have learned. You have become more aware. You know how to listen to your body now. You know that love without respect is not enough. You know that a boundary can protect tenderness. You are not entering the future with nothing. You are carrying wisdom. The mind does not need to become blindly positive. It needs to become balanced. Instead of saying nothing bad can happen, you can say, whatever happens, I will stay with myself. Instead of saying everyone can be trusted, you can say, I can allow trust to grow through clear actions. Instead of saying, I will never hurt again, you can say, I know how to care for myself when pain appears. These thoughts create real safety because they do not depend on controlling life. They depend on your relationship with yourself. Then there is the heart. The heart may hold feelings that do not match your new thoughts immediately. You may know that a chapter has ended while still feeling love. You may know that a boundary is right while still feeling sadness. Do not demand that the heart move as quickly as the mind. A clear decision does not remove every feeling on the same day. You can know the truth and still grieve. You can choose yourself and still miss what you hoped for. You can forgive and still feel moments of anger. These feelings do not cancel your progress. They are part of the heart catching up with the life you are choosing. Sadness can move without becoming your identity. Anger can speak without controlling your actions. Grief can remain present while hope begins to return. You do not need to choose between feeling and healing. Feeling honestly is part of healing. The heart becomes safer when you stop turning every emotion into a command. Missing something does not mean you must return to it. Feeling lonely does not mean the wrong connection is better than no connection. Feeling afraid does not mean the path is wrong. Feeling love does not always mean the relationship is healthy. Emotions give information. They do not always give instructions. You can listen without obeying every feeling. If loneliness comes, you can ask what kind of connection would truly nourish you. If anger comes, you can ask what truth or boundary needs attention. If grief comes, you can ask what needs to be honored and released. If fear comes, you can ask what would help the body feel supported. The heart does not need to be controlled. It needs guidance with love. Then there is the body. The body carries the effect of thoughts and feelings. It may tighten when you remember. It may become restless when something feels uncertain. It may become tired after long emotional strain. Your body is not separate from your spiritual healing. It is the home where the healing is being lived. Care for it in simple ways. Rest before exhaustion becomes collapse. Drink water as an act of respect. Eat in a way that tells the body it deserves care. Move gently when movement feels supportive. Seek help when something needs attention. You do not have to make body care complicated. Small acts repeated with love can change your relationship with yourself. You may have treated the body as though it should serve without limits. You asked it to continue while the heart was heavy. You criticized it when stress began to show. Now you can create partnership. Dear body, I am listening. Dear body, I will not demand that you carry what the heart refuses to feel. Dear body, I will respect the signals you give me. The body may also ask you to stop returning to what reopens the wound. Perhaps checking a message, page, or memory keeps the nervous system trapped in waiting. Each time you check, the body prepares for an answer that may bring relief or pain. You may call it curiosity, but the body may experience it as danger. You're allowed to stop checking. You're allowed to let silence remain unanswered. You're allowed to step away from information that does not support healing. This is not avoidance when the action has no healthy purpose. It can be a boundary with the old pattern. The body learns safety through what you stop doing as well as what you begin. You stop reading words that make you question your worth. You stop entering arguments that have already shown you their ending. You stop giving immediate answers when you need time. You stop using busyness to avoid every emotion. These choices tell the body, I am protecting our peace. Alignment also includes action. A new inner state needs a place in your daily life. It cannot remain only a beautiful thought spoken at night. It must appear in the choices you make when morning comes. If you believe your needs matter, you create time for them. If you believe your heart deserves safety, you stop inviting known pain back inside. If you believe your body is worthy of care, you listen before it becomes overwhelmed. If you believe you can receive healthy love, you stop chasing what only offers confusion. Action gives the subconscious new evidence. It is easy to say, I choose myself. It becomes real when you make a choice that honors your peace. It becomes real when you leave the phone unanswered until you feel calm. It becomes real when you rest without writing an explanation. It becomes real when you speak honestly. It becomes real when you refuse to make another person's approval more important than your own well-being. My thoughts, feelings, and choices are moving toward deep peace. Perhaps your thoughts are ready, but your actions still follow the old habit. Do not shame yourself. Habits have momentum. Notice where your words and actions do not yet agree. You may say you want peace while continuing to enter what creates confusion. You may say you trust life while trying to control every answer. You may say you love yourself while speaking cruelly to the body. This is not proof that you are false. It is an invitation to become more honest. Ask, what small choice would match the peace I say I want? Perhaps the choice is to stop one conversation. Perhaps it is to sleep earlier. Perhaps it is to say what you truly mean. Perhaps it is to forgive one mistake. Do not wait for the largest action. Small choices create trust. The inner world watches whether you keep your word to yourself. If you promise rest and continue pushing, trust becomes weaker. If you promise protection and return to the same harm without reflection, the heart becomes uncertain. But every time you honor one inner promise, trust grows. You become someone your own heart can believe. That is one of the deepest forms of healing. You no longer depend only on the hope that life will protect you. You begin participating in your own safety. You choose environments where you can breathe. You choose relationships where honesty is possible. You choose words that do not make the inner child afraid. You choose actions that support the future you want. Spiritual trust is not passive. It is a partnership between openness and wise action. You can trust that life is guiding you while still making decisions. You can surrender the outcome while still taking the next honest step. You can believe that new love is possible while refusing to accept what is not loving. Your thoughts, heart, body, and actions begin to tell one story. I am worthy of peace. I allow myself to feel. I care for the body that carries me. I choose what supports my healing. This alignment does not happen once. It becomes a practice of returning. There will be moments when the mind returns to fear. Return to a kinder thought. There will be moments when the heart becomes heavy. Return to presence. There will be moments when the body becomes tense. Return to care. There will be moments when you follow an old pattern. Return to a new choice. The return matters more than perfect performance. Each return makes the new path more familiar. Eventually, peace no longer feels like a place you visit. It becomes a way you know how to find. Tonight, the mind can become quieter because it does not need to solve the whole future. The heart can soften because it is allowed to feel without being judged. The body can rest because it is no longer being forced to carry every burden. You have created enough alignment to enter the night differently. You do not enter the night as someone trying to escape emotion. You enter as someone willing to let the heart release what it no longer needs. The day is ending, and you do not have to carry every unfinished thought into the night. Some things can remain unanswered until another time. Some choices can wait for a clearer mind. Some problems do not need to be held while the body is trying to rest. You have done enough for this day. Even if everything was not completed, the day can still end. Even if someone did not understand you, the day can still end. Even if your feelings are not fully settled, the day can still end. You do not have to earn rest by solving every part of life. Let the night become a place where effort loosens. The mind may still bring you lists, memories, and questions. You do not need to argue with them. Notice that the mind is still working and gently remind it that nothing more needs to be decided right now. I do not need to solve the past tonight. The past has already taken place. Thinking about it through the night will not create a different yesterday. It may only keep the body inside the same pain. You can honor the past by allowing yourself to rest from it. You can say, I know there is more to understand. I will meet it when I have strength. Tonight, I allow the mind to become quiet. You do not have to push thoughts away. The more you fight them, the louder they may become. Let them pass like distant sounds. A thought can appear without becoming a conversation. A memory can rise without becoming the whole night. A question can remain unanswered without becoming danger. You are safe in this moment. The room may be quiet. The day may still be present in the body. Let yourself notice that this moment is different from every moment you have been remembering. You are here now. You are not inside the old event. You are not standing in the conversation that hurt you. You are not waiting in the same place. You are here, breathing in the present with more understanding than you had before. I am safe in this moment. Safety does not mean life has no uncertainty. It means you do not need to live in every possible future tonight. The mind may imagine what could happen tomorrow. Bring it back gently. Tomorrow will arrive with its own strength, choices, and guidance. You do not need to live it before it comes. For now, let the body understand that the work of the day is complete. The shoulders can release responsibilities they cannot solve in bed. The jaw can release words that do not need to be spoken tonight. The hands can stop holding what cannot be controlled. The heart can stop preparing for an argument that is not happening now. You are allowed to rest without watching every door. There may be an emotion waiting beneath the noise of the day. It may be sadness. It may be relief. It may be anger, loneliness, or a feeling without a clear name. You do not need to label it perfectly. Simply recognize that something is present. You can say, I know you are here. That may be all the feeling needed. It may have waited so long because it believed you would ignore it. Now it is being seen. Do not ask it to leave immediately. Feeling often softens when it no longer has to fight for attention. Let it sit beside you without becoming your whole identity. You are still larger than the emotion. You are still the one able to offer care. I let my heart release what it no longer needs to hold. Release may come as tears. It may come as a deep feeling of tiredness. It may come as warmth, quiet, or a sense that something inside has loosened. There is no correct response. Do not search for proof that healing is happening. Searching can become another form of pressure. Make love available and let the heart choose. If tears rise, let them move without fear. You do not need to stop them or create more. They know their path. The tears may carry words you never spoke. They may carry the effort of appearing strong. They may carry the love you could no longer keep giving. They may carry the guilt you accepted without question. Let them carry what is ready. You do not need to decide what every tear means. The body has its own language. It may understand the release before the mind does. If no tears come, do not become disappointed. The heart may still be listening to the safety you are creating. It may need many quiet moments before it trusts the opening. You are not failing. You are not closed forever. You are meeting yourself differently, and that itself is healing. You can whisper inwardly, "There is no demand here." You are allowed to move at your own pace. Perhaps the emotion becomes stronger for a moment. Remind yourself that feelings move like waves. They rise, reach a point, and slowly change. You do not need to follow the emotion into every story. Stay with the simple feeling. This is sadness. This is grief. This is anger. This is fear. And I am still here. You can let the feeling move through the body without making a decision about your life. Tonight is not the time to send the message, reopen the argument, or return to what caused the pain. Tonight is for listening and release. The morning can hold practical choices. The night can hold tenderness. I do not need to solve the past tonight. I am safe in this moment. I let my heart release what it no longer needs to hold. Let these thoughts move through you without repetition becoming effort. You are not trying to force the subconscious mind into change. You are giving it a new experience. The experience of sadness without abandonment. The experience of tiredness without criticism. The experience of uncertainty without panic. The experience of rest without guilt. These experiences teach the body a new way to live. You may remember a time when you wanted to cry but could not. Offer that earlier version of you kindness. You can imagine saying, "You do not need to be strong for me. I believe what you felt. I understand why you hid it. You do not need to search through details." Let the message be enough. The earlier self may have waited years to hear that the pain was real and the feelings were allowed. You can give that recognition now. You are not changing the past. You are changing the loneliness around the memory. The memory is no longer being held by a person who must survive it alone. It is being held by the present you, the one who can offer understanding. This is how old emotion becomes less frightening. The night can also receive the words you never said. You do not need to speak them aloud. Let the heart know that the truth is understood. I was hurt. I needed care. I was tired. I wanted to feel chosen. I did not know how to leave. I did not know how to speak. I know now. Nothing more is required. You do not need to build a case. Your heart is not a courtroom. The feeling is allowed because it is yours. As the emotion begins to settle, make room for something gentler. Release is not only the leaving of pain, it is also the return of energy. The energy that was tied to the past can return to your body. The energy used to replay conversations can return to your rest. The energy used to hold back tears can return to your breath. The energy used to carry everyone can return to your own heart. You are calling yourself home, not with force, not with perfect words. Through simple permission, I allow rest to carry me toward healing. Rest is not empty time. The body restores itself in quiet. The mind sorts through what the day could not complete. The heart can soften when it is no longer performing for anyone. You do not need to stay awake, guiding every part of this process. Healing is not only something you do. Sometimes it is something you allow. You can release control over how tonight must feel. Perhaps sleep comes easily. Perhaps the mind needs more time. Either way, you can remain kind. Do not turn wakefulness into another reason to criticize yourself. You can lie quietly without demanding sleep. You can let the body rest even while the mind slowly settles. The night does not need to be perfect to support you. Let the final emotional work of the day be gentleness. Not another review of what you did wrong. Not another imagined conversation. Not another promise that you must become different by morning. Gentleness. You have carried enough pressure. The heart does not need one more demand. Tonight, the feelings you once had to hide can finally be met with love. They do not need to disappear completely. They only need to know that the hiding can end. The part of you that cried alone can feel your presence. The part that never cried can feel your patience. The part that became hard can feel that softness is safe again. The part that remained hopeful can feel that life is not finished. You can let the night hold what you cannot carry consciously. You can trust that your deeper mind knows how to keep working with the love you have offered. There is nothing more to prove. You have listened. You have become honest. You have made space. Let that be enough. I do not need to solve the past tonight. I let my heart release what it no longer needs to hold. I am safe in this moment. I allow rest to carry me toward healing. The old emotion may return another day. That does not mean tonight was wasted. Healing is formed through many moments of safety. Each night you meet yourself with kindness, the body learns. Each time emotion rises and you do not abandon yourself, the heart learns. Each time you choose rest over another painful thought, the mind learns. You are creating a new rhythm, a rhythm in which feelings are welcomed and allowed to move, a rhythm in which truth does not lead to punishment, a rhythm in which the night becomes a place of return. You may notice that the body begins to feel heavier in a peaceful way, as though it is ready to put something down. Let the weight be supported. You do not need to hold yourself above the bed. You do not need to prepare for what has not happened. You are allowed to be carried for a while. Life continues even when you rest. The heart continues healing even when you stop thinking. The future continues forming without your worry. You have done enough. Let the night come closer. Let the mind become less interested in answers. Let the body choose stillness. Let the heart know that whatever remains can be met another time. Nothing inside you is being abandoned. You are only allowing yourself to rest. Healing does not always mean forgetting. It means the memory no longer has the same power over your body. You may remember without losing the whole day. You may think of what happened without becoming the person you were inside that moment. The heart becomes lighter, not because the past disappears, but because you stop carrying it in the same way. You no longer hold the pain as proof that you must remain guarded forever. You no longer hold the guilt as proof that everything was your fault. You no longer hold the tears as something shameful. You let the past become part of your wisdom rather than the center of your identity. I am safe with my feelings. Every feeling that rises can be met with care. Sadness does not make you weak. Anger does not make you unloving. Fear does not make you broken. Your feelings are human movements inside a living heart. You do not have to obey them, hide them, or become them. You can listen and let them change. I no longer turn against myself when emotions rise. This is a promise you can keep in simple ways. When sadness comes, you do not tell yourself to stop being difficult. When fear comes, you do not call yourself foolish. When tiredness comes, you do not demand more strength. You become a safe voice. I am here. I understand. We can move slowly. The body is learning that it can soften. It may have stayed alert for a long time. It may still tighten quickly. Give it patience. A body that learned fear through repetition can learn safety through repetition too. Each calm response teaches it. Each honest boundary teaches it. Each night of gentleness teaches it. Each moment of choosing yourself teaches it. You are becoming a peaceful home for your heart. A home does not reject the person who lives there for having a difficult day. A home offers shelter. You can become that shelter within yourself. You can say, whatever I feel, I belong here. I do not need to leave myself in order to be accepted somewhere else. I release the words I never said. Some words did not need to be delivered to another person. They only needed to be acknowledged inside you. The truth has been heard. You do not need to keep holding the speech in your chest. You do not need to imagine the perfect moment when everything will finally be understood. Your freedom does not depend on another person receiving the message. Let the words leave through your own understanding. I release the love I tried to force. Love cannot be made safe through effort alone. You may have given more, waited longer, explained better, and become smaller. Still, what was not ready to meet you could not be changed by your self-abandonment. Your love was not worthless. It was simply asking to return to a place where it could be cared for. Let your love return to you. Use it to protect your peace. Use it to care for the body. Use it to choose relationships where giving and receiving can exist together. I release the guilt that never belonged to me. You are not responsible for every ending. You are not responsible for every feeling another person has about your truth. You are not responsible for keeping a harmful pattern comfortable. Let the guilt return to the old belief that created it. You can choose responsibility without living under blame. I release the need to appear strong all the time. You are allowed to be held. You are allowed to say you do not know. You are allowed to need quiet. You are allowed to admit that something has been difficult. Strength does not disappear when you rest. It becomes more honest. I let the past loosen its hold on my body. The shoulders do not need to carry old responsibility. The jaw does not need to hold old words. The chest does not need to remain guarded against an event that has already ended. The body can return to the present. This moment asks less of you than the memory did. I forgive myself for the ways I tried to survive. You may have become quiet. You may have chased reassurance. You may have ignored your own needs. You may have tried to control what frightened you. These were attempts to find safety. You can understand them without continuing them. I forgive myself for staying silent. You did not always know that your voice could be safe. Now you are learning that truth can be spoken with care. Even when no words are needed outside, you can remain honest within. I forgive myself for waiting. Hope kept you connected to a future you wanted. You do not need to shame hope. You can let it move towards something new. I forgive myself for not knowing another way. You know more now because life has taught you. The lesson does not require lifelong punishment. Choose the wisdom. Release the blame. I meet my earlier self with compassion. That earlier self was doing the best they could with the strength available. They did not need judgment. They needed the love you can offer now. Peace is becoming natural to me. At first, peace may arrive only in brief moments. Let those moments count. A calm morning, a quiet meal, a night without checking, a thought that does not turn into fear. Peace grows when you recognize it. You do not need to hold it tightly. Let it visit. Let it become familiar. I am open to love that feels safe. Love can be warm without being confusing. Love can be honest without being cruel. Love can allow space without creating fear. Love can support your growth instead of asking you to disappear. You do not need to chase safe love. You become available to it by no longer choosing what repeatedly harms you. I am ready to receive without fear. Receiving may feel uncomfortable if you have always been the giver. You may question kindness. You may feel the need to repay support immediately. Let yourself learn that care can be received without guilt. You do not need to earn every soft thing. My heart can be soft without being unprotected. Softness is not the absence of boundaries. A soft heart can say no. A loving heart can leave. A caring heart can recognize when enough has been given. Protection does not require hardness. It requires clarity. I welcome a life that does not repeat the old pain. This is not a demand that life become perfect. It is a willingness to stop recreating what is familiar simply because it is familiar. You can choose new responses. You can allow new relationships. You can create new habits of care. The old pattern is not your destiny. Life is helping me release what I have outgrown. Sometimes release feels like loss before it feels like freedom. A door closes. A relationship changes. A role no longer fits. Trust that the empty space is not always punishment. It may be making room for something that can meet who you are now. My healing is unfolding in the right way. You do not need to compare it. You do not need to explain its speed. You do not need to prove it through constant strength. Healing can be quiet. It can be imperfect. It can take the time it needs. Nothing loving within me has been lost. Pain may have hidden your softness, but it did not destroy it. Fear may have covered your trust, but trust can return. Grief may have made joy feel distant, but joy still belongs to you. The loving part of you is still here. It is becoming wiser. I trust the quiet work happening inside me. Not every change is visible immediately. The body may be releasing tension slowly. The mind may be learning to choose new thoughts. The heart may be becoming ready for a different kind of love. You do not need to dig up every seed to see whether it is growing. Continue offering care. I allow the night to restore my heart. Rest is now part of your healing. You do not need to use the night to hold another trial about the past. You can let the night be gentle. You can let sleep come without demanding that tomorrow contain every answer. The heart has carried enough. Let it receive. Let it be quiet. Let it become light. You do not have to hold it anymore. You do not have to carry every word, every question, every ending, and every burden into tomorrow. Some things have taught you what they came to teach. Some feelings have waited long enough to be heard. Some tears have completed the sentence that words could not finish. You are allowed to put the weight down. You are allowed to let the memory become quieter. You are allowed to stop waiting for the past to change. Nothing about your pain needs to be denied. It mattered because you mattered, and now your peace matters too. Tonight, let the heart understand that it is no longer alone. You are here. You are listening. You are staying. The part of you that once had to hide can rest near your love. The part that became strong can put down its armor. The part that waited can stop looking toward the old door. You do not need to force a final release. Let whatever remains be held gently. There will be other mornings. There will be more understanding. There will be new moments of safety. Healing does not end because the night becomes quiet. It continues beneath the quiet. Let the night receive what your heart is ready to release. Let it receive the tiredness. Let it receive the old fear. Let it receive the questions that have no useful answer tonight. You do not need to carry them while you sleep. Let love remain. Let the love you gave return to you. Let it settle around the heart. Let it become a kinder voice. Let it become a boundary. Let it become rest. Let it become the truth that you deserve to live without constant emotional weight. Let peace remain. Not a perfect peace that never feels anything. A living peace. A peace that can hold sadness without becoming lost. A peace that can meet memory without returning to the past. A peace that knows you are safe with yourself. The tears were never proof that you were weak. They were proof that something inside you still believed release was possible. They were the heart's way of saying, I am ready to stop carrying this alone. You heard it. You stayed. You offered love. Now let yourself rest. You do not need another answer. You do not need another effort. You do not need to become anything more tonight. Your heart knows the way toward lightness. Your body knows how to soften when it is no longer being pushed. Your deeper self knows how to continue healing in the quiet. Trust what has begun. Let the old weight leave in the way it chooses. Let the night hold you without expectation. Let love remain. Let peace remain. And let yourself rest.